Hello, beautiful Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Risings. There is something I need to tell you about March 2026, and I don't want you to panic, but I also don't want to pretend it's going to be easy, because it's not. But here is the thing, sometimes the hardest months are the ones that teaches us the most about who we really are and what we are building in this life. And for you, Taurus, you're a builder. You know about foundations, you know about patience, you know about the slow, steady work of creating something that lasts. But this month is going to ask you to do something that might feel uncomfortable. It's going to ask you to let some things fall apart so that you can build something better. Through March 20th, there is this gathering of energy in Pisces. And for you, Pisces lives in your 11th house, the house of your people, your community, your tribe, the house of your dreams and the friends who help you build them, the house of rewards from your work, the fruits that you've been waiting to harvest. The sun is there, which means your attention is there too, your focus is there, and Mars is there too, which means, well, there's going to be some tension, some battles, some conflicts that you can't avoid. And Mercury, the messenger, the communicator, is there too. But moving backward, retrograde, from February 26th, all the way through March 20th. It means your friendships are being tested. Your social circles are being reorganized. The plans you made with friends, they might fall through. The recognition you thought was coming from your work, it might get delayed or disappear entirely. And I know that's hard to hear because you value loyalty, Taurus. You value stability. You don't like it when people leave, when plans change. But sometimes the universe has to shake things up so that only what's truly meant for you remains. Mercury retrograde in your 11th house is particularly tricky because it messes with communication in your social world. And here's what's going to happen. I'm warning you now so you don't get caught off guard. The things your friends said 3 months ago that bothered you but you never mentioned, they are coming back. Things you said that landed wrong, they are being brought up again. And you are going to want to fix it because that's what you do. You want to smooth things over, to find the practical solution, to just talk it out and move on. But here is the problem. Nobody can actually communicate clearly right now. You try to explain yourself and it comes out wrong. Your friend tries to explain and you hear something completely different from what they meant. It's like you're both speaking different languages, even though you're using the same words. So what do? You wait. I know that's frustrating. I know you want to resolve it now, but trust me on this. Anything you try to fix during Mercury retrograde will probably get worse. The conversations you have now will be the conversations you have to have again after March 20th. So let it be. Let the confusion exist without trying to solve it. After March 20th, when Mercury goes direct, when communication starts flowing again, that's when you sit down with your friend and really talk, really hear each other, really understand what happened. And then there is this other thing that happens during Mercury retrograde, especially in the 11th house. People from your past start showing up. Old friends you haven't seen in years suddenly text you out of nowhere. People who were part of your community but drifted away, they come back around. And you are going to have to decide, do you let them back in? Do you reconnect? Or do you recognize that some friendships had their season and then that season is over? But here is where it gets really tricky, Taurus. Sometimes Mercury retrograde doesn't just bring back old friends. Sometimes it brings back old lovers. And I need you to hear this. What comes back during Mercury retrograde almost always leaves when Mercury goes direct. The timing is cosmically wrong right now. The energy is confused. And if you take them back now, you're going to have to face the same ending all over again in a few weeks. And it's going to hurt you even more. Okay, back to 11th house. The 11th house isn't just about friendships though. It's also about the rewards from your work, the bonuses, the promotions, the recognition you've been building toward. And with Mercury retrograde here, there might be delays, promises that don't materialize right now. And I know you're going to want to push through because that's what you do. You work hard, you're reliable, you show up. But right now, pushing isn't going to help. Right now, patience is your power. Don't change jobs during this retrograde. I know some of you might be thinking, but I have an offer. I need to take it. I can't wait. And listen, if you are truly desperate, if you have no other option, then do what you do, but read that contract very, very carefully. Make sure what was promised verbally is actually written down, because Mercury retrograde loves to hide things in the fine print. And if you can wait, if you can hold off until after March 20th to make that decision, do it. Trust me, you'll have so much more clarity then. The fog will lift. And one more thing, check your paycheck this month. Errors happen during Mercury retrograde. Don't assume everything's correct just because it usually is. Now let's talk about March 3rd, because this is the day that carries the heaviest weight. We have a full moon in Virgo at 12 degrees happening in your 5th house. The house of love, romance, creative expression, of children, of everything that makes your heart sing. But this isn't just any full moon. It's a lunar eclipse. And lunar eclipses, they are about endings. They are about completions. They are about chapters closing so that new ones can begin. This eclipse is happening in your house of love, Taurus. And I'm not going to lie to you, this could be intense. For some of you, a relationship might reach a breaking point. And for some of you, you might realize that what you thought was love was actually something else. Convenience, comfort, fear of being alone. Eclipses have this way of revealing the truth, even when we are not ready to see it. They pull back the curtain, they show us what's been hiding in the shadows. If you have children, the eclipse might bring challenges with them too. Nothing catastrophic, but maybe something that requires your attention, your patience, your guidance. They need you to see them, really see them, in a way you haven't before. So, the 5th house is also about creativity, about hobbies, about the things you do just because they bring you joy. So for some of you, this eclipse might not be about romance at all. It might be about realizing that the creative project you've been working on is complete, or that the hobby you used to love doesn't light you up anymore, or that it's time to let yourself play in a new way. And then March 20th arrives and everything shifts again. The sun moves into Aries in your 12th house, that mystical hidden place behind the curtain of your life. And Venus, your ruling planet, the planet that governs your entire chart, goes with it. The 12th house it's a strange place, Taurus. It's not comfortable. It's the place of subconscious, of dreams, of the things we can't quite put our finger on. It's the place where we rest, where we heal, where we process all the things we didn't have time to process while we are busy living our lives. So from March 20th through the end of April, you're going to feel a shift. Your energy might dip, you might feel more tired than usual, more introspective, more like you need to retreat from the world, and that's okay. That's actually perfect. This isn't laziness. This is your soul asking for rest so that it can integrate everything you've been through. And please take care of your health during this time, physical and mental. Don't ignore signs that your body needs attention. Don't push through exhaustion just because you think you should be stronger. And please, please don't ignore what's rising from your subconscious. This is time for therapy, for meditation, for prayer, for journaling, for whatever practice helps you connect with the parts of yourself that usually stay hidden, because those parts have something to tell you right now, and they have wisdom you need. The 12th house gets a bad reputation in astrology, but I actually think it's one of the most sacred spaces, because it's where we heal. It's where we make peace with our past so we can step into our future. Yes, it can bring challenges. Yes, sometimes it reveals hidden enemies or people who haven't been as loyal as you thought. But it also brings opportunities for deep, profound transformation. The kind that happens in the quiet, the kind that nobody sees but you. So if you feel called to step back from social obligations, to spend more time alone, to say no to the things that drain you, honor that. You are not being antisocial. You are being wise. You are listening to what your soul needs, and trust that this period of rest is preparing you for something. You're a builder, Taurus, but before you can build something new, you have to clear the ground. I also need to mention that since February 14th, Saturn, the great teacher, the planet of tests and lessons and long-term growth, has been in Aries in your 12th house, and it's going to be there for 2.5 years. This is significant. This is deep work. Saturn in the 12th house is asking you to face your fears, to heal your wounds, to do the inner work that you've been avoiding because it's uncomfortable. But here is the thing about Saturn. When we work with Saturn, When we lean into the lessons instead of resisting them, we become stronger than we ever thought possible. We build a foundation that nothing can shake. Over the next 2.5 years, pay attention to what Saturn is teaching you about rest, about surrender, about the parts of yourself you keep hidden. This is soul level work, Taurus. This is the work that changes everything. So what do I want you to take away from all of this? Firstly, be patient with your friendships this month. If there is tension, if there is confusion, if there is hurt, don't try to force resolution. Wait until after March 20th. Let things settle. Let clarity return. Second, don't take old lovers back. I know it's tempting. I know that might say all the right things, but the timing is wrong. The energy is confused. What comes back during Mercury retrograde almost always leaves when it does. And third, be careful with your career decisions. If you have to take a new job, read every word of that contract. But if you can wait, wait. Better opportunities will be visible after the 20th. Fourth, pay attention to what the eclipse is showing you about love, about creativity, about your children, about what makes your heart feel alive. If something's ending, let it end. Make space for what's trying to come next. And fifth, honor the need for rest that starts on March 20th. Don't fight it, don't shame yourself for it. Rest is productive. And Taurus, I know this month sounds heavy. I know it sounds like a lot, but I also know you. I know your strength. I know your patience. I know your ability to weather storms that would flatten other people. You are not fragile, even though you feel deeply. And you are not weak, even though you are tired. And you are in the middle of a transformation that's going to make you more yourself than you've ever been. So trust the process, trust the timing, trust that even when you can't see the path forward, it's there waiting for you to be ready. And thank you for being here with me, beautiful Taurus. Thank you for doing this work. Drop a comment below and tell me what's coming up for you this month. What are you releasing? What are you learning? I want to hear your story. We are all in this together. Sending you so much love. Take care of that beautiful heart of yours. I'll see you the next one.